Hi. It's been about 4 months now since I brought this, the Sony A7c Mark II, and I thought I'd give it a little review and tell you my thoughts. While I'm talking, I'm just going to flash up some images that I've taken with this camera just here. Let's start with the pros. The size. For a full frame camera, it's a great size, compact compared to other cameras, including the other Sonys. It just feels really small, and I think it's probably the smallest full frame changeable lens camera out there at the minute, so that's certainly good, and it looks great, no denying that. Great looking camera. The image quality, of course, Sony's are renowned for great image quality. Again, the full frame sensor allows for great dynamic range, and the 33 megapixel sensor on this gives incredibly good detail. Sony's autofocus, again, probably can't be matched by any other camera manufacturer out there at the minute. Face recognition, you can snap away and you know you're pretty much 99% going to have every face in focus. Battery life also on this camera, it's got a pretty nice hefty battery, which most of the time I've gotten away with just carrying the one when I'm out and about. I think there's only one time that I've had to switch out the battery for a second one, but yeah, pretty good for me. So let's talk about the cons, shall we? First off, it's the screen. I have tried to like this screen, but I find it just gets in the way. As you know, I do a lot of street photography, so I do a lot sort of shooting from the hip, low down shots, and with this, every time you want to do that, you have to pull the screen out, twist it round, or you have to twist it up, pull it up or round like that, and it just adds just that little bit of extra time when you're trying to get a shot, and it's frustrating. I much prefer the screen that you can just straight off lift up or flip out. The viewfinder, I often use a viewfinder, and the size of this one for such a high quality camera, it's pathetic really. Just tiny, and there's no eye guard, so you've got light coming in on the side and you're just not getting a nice clear view when using it. So yeah, that's definitely a big con. Now, I did say how great the image quality is, but the colours, Sony do not get their colours right. Skin tones and other stuff, and it's quite flat. So I do find that I spend a lot more time editing the photos that come out of this camera. And the final con is Sony cameras are boring. I don't know what else to say, but they just don't excite me at all. Where Fuji cameras, they do excite me. You know, they have their quirks, they're fun to use. It's a computer basically. You know, you're taking photos with your computer. There's no, how does that, I don't know, no emotion with it. I just do not feel a connection with this camera, which is a shame, which is why I've done this. Yes, I've gone back to Fuji. People told me when I brought the Sony camera, they said, you you'll be back. They're absolutely right. I should have listened. I probably shouldn't even have done it in the first place, but yep, here we are. I've brought this lovely little XT50 with the new kit lens, which is the 16-50. Really nice setup, I find. I'm going to start with just a few pros. I've only had this a couple of days, so I won't go too much into it. First off is the size. I just hate lugging around a big camera with big heavy lenses. So even though the Sony is not big by any means, compared to this, it's still a lot lighter and more compact, which is brilliant. And you can't deny the look of Fuji cameras. Retro, stylish, well, they're just beautiful cameras basically. The colours, I think I mentioned as the Sony boring. The Fuji films are, well, they just produce fantastic colours with the help of the various film simulations that they've got in there. And this new lens I'm really pleased with. It is a zoom lens, but uniquely, when you do zoom it, it just stays the same size, so all the zooming is internal. I kind of feel it's like having a bag of primes really, because I can set it on 16, 23, 35, 50 and just leave it there. So if I want to go out and say I'm just going to shoot in 35 today, then yep, just zoom to that and it's there. It's great. The image quality, very impressive. So far I've only taken 2 photos of my cats, which I'll just share now just to show you. This has got a 40 megapixel sensor which allows for cropping if needed. So these 2 pictures of the cats are fairly cropped, but still looking at the images it's really nice and sharp. And the colours again, both were JPEGs, and I've done no editing to them at all apart from the crop. So I'm very impressed so far. I've not got any cons at the minute, but just a few things I'm holding my judgment on. Number one is unique to this camera is a film simulation dial. So basically all the different color variations, the brilliant classic chrome, the Acros black and white, etc. Fantastic. But there used to be an ISO dial here, which was also incredibly useful. So whether I'm going to find that limiting or annoying, I don't know. As I said, I do spend a lot of time in auto ISO, so I don't think it's going to be a deal breaker, but we'll see. Screen, it does do the flipping up and down, which I love, but it doesn't do the vertical flip. So whether that will annoy me or not is, well, remains to be seen. I do wish it had the same screen as on the XT5, but yeah, we'll see. So yeah, I think I'm going to enjoy this camera, but I need to take it out a few times just to really get to know it, but I'm looking forward to that. So I think that's me done for today. Hope you'll join me in the next video fairly soon, but thanks for watching. Cheers.